Hey everyone, I'm Christina Steeran with Bullseye Investments, where we help busy professionals invest in their futures when time is scarce. And today I want to talk about the end of a deal cycle, the end of that hold period. What actually happens, right? You've done your due diligence, your research, you've filled out your paperwork, you've wired in your money, the deal has closed, and they're working through the business plan. But what happens once you've held it for the hold period and that business plan is complete? If the market's really good, you put that asset up for sale, and after all those final accounting things are figured out, you get a final distribution check. Really simple, really easy. Generally speaking, of course, because you never know. You might have gotten, for some reason, all of your capital back, your initial capital investment back in a refinance at some point, and you and the other investors might be like, hold on to it and let it cash flow for as long as we can. If the market conditions aren't super favorable for the sale of an asset, there are generally two different things that can be done. And which one you do depends on a lot of different factors, and I'll get into those in a moment. Let me first tell you that the two choices are that you might put the asset up for sale anyway, even though the market is not exactly where you're expecting it to be as a syndicator. And this is generally much more common in value add type deals where you're forcing the increase in value of the property itself by having a ton of renovations and increasing the rents up to what other apartment complexes in the area are getting as well. The other option is that the general partnership team might hold on to that property and allow it to cash flow, so you as an investor are still getting distributions while they wait for more favorable market conditions to occur. So this was actually something we saw a lot of during the COVID-19 pandemic. All of these restrictions were put into place on life as we know it, and a lot of owners chose to hold on to their properties and wait to see if, with the easing of restrictions and life kind of returning more towards what it used to be, whether or not more favorable market conditions would occur. And while it didn't work out for all of them, it did work out for quite a few of them, for a significant portion, I would say. And so those are your two choices. What factors might go into deciding which one a general partnership team opts to use when the market's not as high as it could be? The terms of a loan, right? Because the largest investor in any syndication is generally the bank. So whatever the terms of that loan are, how the property is cash flowing, when you expect more favorable market conditions to return, that would be another reason. Just there are so many other things, right? Whether or not it's a value add or a yield investment opportunity or a hybrid of the two. So how much appreciation you've been able to force or increase on that property might help you determine what choice, right, as a syndicator. I think the really, really key thing to remember here is any good partnership team and syndicator is always looking at all of these factors. They are assessing constantly what the best course of action is for that specific property so that it brings you guys, the investors, the best bang for your buck. A syndicator that's not looking out for their investors isn't a very good syndicator, simply because if your investors aren't happy, then what's the point of even doing it, right? Anyways, I hope that answers any questions you might have about what happens at the end of a hold period. Feel free to like, comment, or subscribe, and let us know what you think the best option is at the end of a hold period if, for example, the market isn't doing so great. We look forward to hearing from you. Talk to you soon.